Hey guys, Jesse here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the HGBF Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam. And this kit was provided to me by the Gunpla Collective, which is a small startup here in Detroit aiming to provide a service for commissioners to sell their commission builds and to get commissions. I'll leave a link in the description below, but currently they're just sort of getting the ball rolling, so it's just an early access sign up page right now, but part of the project is to have sponsored reviews and tutorials on their site. So this is why I've got this kit to review. Thank you very much, Dalton from the Gunpla Collective. So here I am with this, and if you guys are interested, you'll be seeing more sponsor reviews on this channel, and you can go ahead and check out the site for other content creators, reviews, and tutorials and such, because it's a collaborative effort. I mean, it's kind of in the name. But anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about this kit. So this is an out-of-box build, so nothing has been done to this except having the stickers applied. I cleaned up the nubs, of course, but no seam line removal, no panel lining, nada. So we're looking at this in its sort of purest form. And I have to say, it's a really, really attractive kit. I'm a little torn though, sort of figuratively and metaphorically, about how I like this thing, because I pretty much like everything in front of the backpack and kind of dislike everything backpack and beyond. But yeah, I think after building this kit, I have to say that I would highly suggest this kit if you're a fan of the design or a fan of the Strike Freedom. And I'm one of the people that like the Strike Freedom more than I hate it. But with the Strike Freedom, I have the same problem where I really, really hate the Dragoons and the backpack, but the MS itself is really attractive. And I think if I plan to do more with this kit, I would just remove the backpack and kind of make this a sort of close combat fighter or something. But let's just talk about how the kit is as it is. So this kit is based on the Amazing Strike Freedom, the Strike Freedom Revive. And I've never built that kit, but I'll have to say, after building this kit, it's got me very interested. But yeah, the looks of this kit are great. Again, the MS design itself, just the mobile suit, is really, really nice. It has really good blocky details and sculpting that contrasts well with a lot of like curved details. So you got this really nice like knee armor, great redesign of the Strike Freedom knee that contrasts well with the sort of curviness here. You know, it's not like so contrasting it looks out of place. It just kind of looks correct. But let's go from the top to the bottom, and I'll sort of explain. The head here is really nice. I like the redesign of it. I thought I'd hate the swept-back V-fin, but it's all right. It's pretty good. I'm not a super big fan, but it's not too offensive. I will say the head design is a little silly, though, because he's got Vulcans there that point right into the V-fin. So I was joking on stream while building this that he'd have to shoot straight through his V-fin to hit someone, and it would be sort of like a surprise attack or something. You've got eye stickers here, as well as two camera stickers here and one in the back. That's like a minuscule sticker right there. But yeah, nicely enough, they don't use that polycap neck joint that I always hate, but they only have one ball joint at the top, so your range of mobility is there, but it's a little limited. I absolutely love the chest design here. It is beautiful. I love this redesign. You know, now it makes me wish for a 1 to 100 scale. But yeah, this is a really nice redesign. Really nice colors too. I really love the sort of bluish purple here for the bottom half of the torso, and this dark blue. Funnily enough, wasn't as hard to work with as I thought. I'll talk more about it about the build when I talk about the build, but I'll just have to say that dark plastic looks nice and it's easy to work with. This sort of neutral gray that's like on the vents in here is also really, really nice. The colors overall are great. But yeah, the chest design here is good. The torso movement is pretty good. It's worthy of the revived name, but I will say it doesn't seem to be as mobile as something like the RX-78-2, but it's still good. The shoulders here are amazing. Amazing. But yeah, sorry about that. They just look really, really nice. I love how bulky and beefed up the whole design overall is, but especially these shoulders. These are probably my favorite part of this kit. And that sort of translates down to the arms. This new redesigned sort of forearm guard is nice. It's nice and angular, has a lot of panel lining detail. This kit overall has a lot of good panel lines. It's almost at a master grade level of panel lining. But yeah, it's very stiff joint, this bicep swivel, and the whole kit feels very sturdy. So, which is good considering it has a lot of heft to it. Side skirts here, you can separate them. They actually tell you to separate them in the manual. I'm not a huge fan of how blocky these particular pieces are. They just seem a little too big. If I were to mod this or anything, I'd probably remove those. His schlong here doesn't do anything. This design aesthetic, as we'll call it, is a little strange. The legs here are very, very nice. It can go up really far. Have a great double joint there. It looks really, really good. I think something that would be cool is to cut up this knee armor part and actually find a way to make it a moving armor part, which shouldn't be too hard considering it's very blocky. These side skirts here will get out of the way, although they are incredibly large. Not a huge fan of this redesigned secondary part of the railgun. I don't like that it's in a darker color, and I don't like the design of it, although it is very detailed. This red accent here is a sticker, and it's a pretty awful one that goes all the way around and down the front here. This red piece, though, is a piece. That's a separate piece, so you have to wonder what kind of happened here. Again, based off of the Strike Freedom Revive, so maybe they just got a bit lazy here. These can swing to the back, but they're a little too large to completely swing to the back, and it kind of makes him look like he's wearing a dress. So, hey, if you want that look, you can get it. And the feet are very, very nice. I love the size of them. They have great range of mobility, and yeah, overall great feet, good size, good shape. They do have some hollow spaces here. It's not atrocious, but you will more than likely be putting this kit in the air, so you may want to fill that in with some putty when you go to paint this thing. Talking about the backpack, it's interesting, let's say that. I really, really hate the fact that they turn these guns into like overhead cannons, because they just do not look like overhead cannons. They look like guns strapped. I don't know. They look very out of place. And their mobility for going this way and going back and everything is good, but they can't swivel. So they're going to be pointing straight on like this, and it looks very, very odd. And unfortunately, they don't give you the pieces to turn this into a normal gun. So you're kind of stuck with them being on the backpack, unfortunately, in terms of using them as weapons. These binders here have a great range of mobility, and they can open up. That's what these Dragoons kind of turned into, and I think that looks pretty good. I like how this thing looks on its own, and we'll see later what it can do with the kit. But as they are on the backpack, they have good range of mobility, but they do seem a little strange. And I think the worst part of this backpack, as demonstrated by just falling off here, are these Dragoons here. They're just on ball joints, and they look like they were incredibly forced into the design. So, not a huge fan. So as you can see, I like everything about this mobile suit, except for that backpack. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, which I decided to sort of wait till the end to talk about, that red frame. I think we were all very skeptical about the red frame whenever this thing got announced. But fortunately, Bandai decided to mold it as a gloss injected red. I have a sample of the runner here. You guys probably seen it enough on the kit, but it's metallic, quote unquote. But yeah, it's this gloss coat, or gloss injected, excuse me, red. And I will say it looks a lot better in person than it does on video and in pictures, but I would still repaint it. If not repaint that, repaint the rest of the kit to sort of match that red frame, because yeah, it is very odd, and on top of being gloss coated or gloss injected, it's going to be very hard to work with painting and building wise. So I forgot to mention these red accents on these binders, and the yellow here, those are all stickers. But as I was saying, not a big fan of gloss injected plastic. I think many people aren't who paint and modify and stuff, but it is what it is. Fortunately, the frame of this thing is exactly the same as the Strike Freedom Revive. So if you have that kit and you want to somehow kit bash these, the frame will work, so you can swap them out. So talking about the build a little bit, this kit's like building this kit was really, really fun and incredibly easy. So easy to work with. So many. The gates are just so small, and there's so little cleanup needing to be done. These recent high-grade build fighter kits are just perfect for the beginner. So yeah, not too much nub cleanup needs to be done. The dark plastic, fortunately, they foresaw the fact that it was dark and made the gates on those, like almost every gate is tiny. So very, very well done, Bandai. And aside from the gloss injected frame, like I said, this kit doesn't need too much cleanup and stuff. There are seams. I'll point them out. You have a seam across the head. I think that's to be expected, and across the shoulder. So yeah, I don't think you're going to avoid that. However, that's it. Oh, actually, that's not it. Sorry. Got too excited. The rail guns here have seams going up and down them. And now that's it. Fortunately, the Dragoons don't have any seams. These are all just one piece, which is great because that would be incredibly annoying to have to fix all of those. And the guns, actually the inner part has a seam, but this white part is not a seam, and neither is this barrel. So that's really, really well thought out. This kit does have a lot of mold lines though. If you don't know what a mold line is, it's sort of that line where like the injection kind of meets together and it kind of forms what looks like a fused seam line, because that's basically what it is. Those are very easy to clean up, but this kit does have quite a few, so just take your X-Acto knife and just kind of scrape it away and sand it up. Now let's talk about the accessories. So I'm actually going to start out with all the extra pieces you get, and you get a lot of extra pieces. So you get a few pieces off of the inner frame here. One interesting piece just of note is the chest cannon here from the original. I think it looks pretty cool in that red, so it'd be cool to somehow put that on another kit. You get the original shoulder armor, except you don't have the red piece that goes on top. You get the original sort of forearm guard here. And interestingly, you get the beam saber connectors here for the side skirts, which will go on because that piece is the original Strike Freedom sort of assembly there. However, they tell you not to build that into the kit because the beam sabers actually go onto the back skirt there. So if you'd like to put them on the side skirt and mount the beam sabers there, you totally have that option because they give you that piece. You also get the original front knee section, but why would you do that? Because these knees look amazing. And so you get that. You also get the original railguns back parts, which I don't think you get the whole thing. I have to sort of maybe build it and find out. I can't really remember, but you get some connector pieces there. You get a piece of the V-fin, some other miscellaneous red parts, mostly for the chest, and some vent details. And finally, you get the original front and back skirts. So if you don't like that yellow like me, you could probably go with this original design. Then you, of course, like I said, you get all this from the other white plate. And then you get a V-fin. So all of this stuff you can sort of mix and match with the kit. I don't think the head will be able to take this V-fin unless you do some modifying. So, and that's it for the extra pieces. So it's pretty nice. One more extra piece actually of note that you get is the beam shield. However, this cannot go on this kit as it is. These forearm guards are just too deep, like where the connector is, for this to fit in there. And it's at an angle, so they tell you not to cut this off the runner, but it's one complete free piece of beam shield. So yeah, if you want to use this, you either have to modify those forearm guards or use the original ones. So, and now we get on to the stuff specifically for this kit. In terms of leftover foil stickers, here's the foil sticker sheet. You can actually use this. So the eyepiece in there is actually clear blue, which is pretty interesting because the eyes are yellow. So if you want to have blue, blue eyes for this kit, you can paint black around the eyes, and then use this reflective sticker in the back to sort of, make it more reflective. Interestingly, in the manual, they tell you to like lay this down and then lay this down, but this is a completely opaque sticker, so I don't know what's going on there. And this red sticker, I could not for the life of me find it in the manual where that's supposed to go. So if you guys want to let me know, please feel free to say so in the comments. But if it's detail that big and so minuscule, I don't think I really need to worry about it. You get two open hands, which look great. Love the styling on these. It's always good to get hand options, and fortunately, you actually get backs for these. So, I don't know what process in Bandai goes on for deciding whether or not to give extra hands to kits, but Bandai, we need more options when it comes to hands for kits. Then finally, you get probably the most disappointing thing on this kit is the beam rifle, because it is absolutely awful, and I think that's sort of universally agreed amongst Gunpla builders and the gods sitting in Olympus. Yeah, this thing is pretty ugly and pretty stupid. The Dragoons are really, you thought the Dragoons on the backpack were forced. I mean, look at this thing. Yeah. I think if you were to remove the Dragoons, the gun itself is decent. But honestly, I would probably just grab a different weapon and give it to this guy, because he doesn't deserve this sort of torture, considering how good he is. And these white pieces are kind of like a tease, because it looks like they can move in and out, but they're completely static. So you have one camera sticker in there. And plus this thing has a huge seam going all the way around it. And it would just be a very annoying seam to fix, but that's his weapon. And that's it, which is pretty disappointing, to be honest, because the mobile suit is so dynamic and can move so much that it doesn't come with, it just comes with a really lame rifle for the most part and some hands. Would have been really nice to get some sort of melee weapon or some sort of extra gun. I know it's probably not canon, but yeah, posing this guy is going to be a little weird. However, he has one trick up his sleeve, and that's with these binders that I alluded to. So you can actually remove these, and you can see it has a connector piece here. Unfortunately, you have to remove this red piece, and this doesn't go anywhere. You just kind of have to. And then these can actually be used as like shields. I think it's a pretty ridiculous looking shield. However, if you open this up, for me, that looks more like a melee, like punching weapon. So I think, in my opinion, this looks pretty cool as a sort of melee weapon. Some sort of like jet boosted rocket punch or something. A rocket punch! Anyways, yeah, so I like the look of this, and we'll might as well give it to the other side. I don't like the fact that this red piece just kind of has to, screw off into a Ziploc or whatever, but for me, that's a pretty nice look right there. And it kind of gets rid of the back, the weight issues here. These connector pieces do look pretty ugly with nothing on them, but I would say just go ahead and remove those and fill them in with putty or something if you're just going to choose to display them only with these shields. So yeah, for me, that is a far cooler look than having them on the backpack. And that sort of wraps it up for the kit. It's a great kit. If you love the design, go for it. It is absolutely a fantastic kit. Probably one of the better HGs I've built in a while. If you're sort of on the fence, I kind of want to say still give it a try just because it's so much fun to build. For me, the worst things about it are the backpack and maybe the colors could use a bit of fine tuning. I'm either going to paint the frame or paint the armor, but the MS itself is really, really nice. Just something that shouldn't be passed up. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised because I sort of expected to hate this kit. But in the end, I really like it. I'm sort of excited to work on it eventually. But in any case, that's all I got for this review. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.